Hi guys, and happy 2023. I realize it has been quite a minute since we've chatted, but end of 2022, everything was telling me that I needed a break, so I took one. So today's video is just going to be a quick roundup, best and worst purchases of 2022. What's going to make it into 2023, what was a favorite and what was not. If you have any that you would like to share, please leave me a comment down below of what you loved in 2022, anything new that you bought, and anything that you said goodbye to potentially in the previous year. So if you're new here, my name is Katherine. I work in the luxury resale industry, and I give tips and insights into luxury resale, how to save money on stuff, how to make better and smarter, more informed purchases. So if any of that sounds interesting, be sure to hit the follow button, give me a thumbs up so you'll see more of these, and let's get started. So these are going in no particular order, but I am really not happy to be adding these two bags on my worst of 2022 list. These are my Brandon Blackwood bags. Now you notice I only have one in my hand. I did also buy this one. This is called the Bamboo Mini, and the one here on screen is called the Sophia. They were not satisfactory for me for two completely different reasons. I'm gonna get into this one first. I love the style, I love the aesthetic, I love the bamboo, as you can see. I think it's really sick that they added this detail and it entirely makes the bag for me. I think that it's entirely well constructed. I love everything about this bag except the size. Fits nothing. It fits nothing and it barely closes. So I'm gonna be on the lookout. Hopefully Brandon Blackwood will come out with a larger size of this bag because I love it. I love it aesthetically, but realistically, where do I think I'm going? I did contemplate selling it, but I do think that it is it's just way too cool to not be a part of my collection. It's really just the bamboo that makes it, but one that I could actually use would be a larger size. Even if it was just maybe this big and maybe closed a little bit more, honestly. Yeah, there's just really no interior capacity in here, and it's a shame because the construction and quality and aesthetic on this is 10 out of 10. I'm really sad. Now, the next one up from Brandon Blackwood is called the Sophia Tote. I had it in green embossed suede. I'm gonna show you here on screen. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this bag. It's just when I received it, the piping on it, piping or glazing or whatever it is that's on the outside of the leather of the bag, that was gummy and actually rubbing off. So I had to send it back. They sent me a new one, though the replacement that they sent me had the exact same defect. So I mainly bought that one because I liked the size on that bag. Now, if only this could be made in that size, I would just be in heaven. But unfortunately, that one did not work out. I do have the replacement on its way back to their warehouse, which is super unfortunate. But I just thought I'd share that. I just didn't have the best experience with their quality and production. I definitely do like that bag. I realize I probably don't necessarily need a teal suede embossed going out bag, especially because I don't really go out so much anymore, but I think it's cool. Next up, I have two pairs of shoes. First up are the Chanel tweed white slides. They have a cork bottom. I bought these towards the beginning of the summer. I also have the Hermes Famosa Espadrille in black. Both of these, I have to say, I'm kind of neutral as to whether or not they were a good or bad purchase. I would say generally that's probably not a great sign that I'm not over the moon with both of them. But overall, I think that I purchased because I found them at a good price in my size. I have them in a 40 and a half. And I just think that maybe I just have to accept that tweed isn't my deal. Maybe what it is I have to accept that Chanel kind of isn't my deal. I think that I am trying to personally make fetch happen with a brand that just doesn't suit me. I'll get more into that later. And now, kind of the same deal, the Hermes Famosa slide mule sandal. Yes, they're cute. I've worn them a couple of times, but to be very honest, I am so scarred from the saga with the Chanel Espadrille sandals that I'm afraid to wear them because I know that one single raindrop spells death for these shoes. The other thing too is that, you know, they're black. I bought them in black because that was the only color that I didn't like absolutely despise that they made in these. They're pretty much okay. They're cute, easy to wear, I guess, but espadrille in a tropical climate, not exactly a recipe for success. So on the one hand, yes, I am having a come to Jesus moment with Chanel, but on the other hand, this was kind of the year of Chanel. I got this one as a replacement for my classic flap. If you guys don't remember, I initially bought a classic medium flap and it did not work out for me whatsoever. I did a negative review of the classic flap that I will link down below on my channel if you haven't seen it. I do heavily recommend checking out that video, or if you have that bag on your wish list, because I feel like not enough people bring out the negative or not so positive side of that bag. I go all into it in that review, but just know that I replaced it with this one, and this is so much more my speed. It has the cool top handle. It's a little unique. It's like a metallic color. This one I also have a review for, but I changed out the strap, and while I do have to admit that this is definitely not an everyday bag, it's not one that I, reached for a ton, just simply because my 2022 was very much spent like at home. I feel like I wasn't going out enough to use this, but it's definitely one that I'm glad that I have in my collection. Yeah, I think in 2022 I was getting bored and like trying to branch out of my comfort zone, and this year, back to basics, back to what I know that I like, because I tried to do so much experimenting and I ended up with a whole bunch of things that did not work for me. Next up, we're going to talk about the Staud Acute bag. This was like a shoulder baguette. I don't like those, and I know I don't like those. I don't like the Fendi baguette, Dior saddle bag, Y2K, late 90s vibe that is really in style right now is not something that I am drawn to. I just really like that it had the asymmetrical line. I guess that was like one of the major selling points to me, and I also wanted a relatively inexpensive white bag. Honestly, for me, like the aesthetics of, the past couple of years have really drawn from times in my life that I've already experienced and matured out of. And that's like the way I wanted to dress when I was 10. I am like in my 30s now, and I'm past that. I'm looking on to new horizons and only seeing the stuff that I've already outgrown. So this was very much that vibe, and I was trying to like psych myself into getting into it. I don't like the short shoulder bag. I never have, I never will, and I need to accept that about myself. Now for my biggest what was I thinking moment, I think you guys know, that red vinyl tote, what? I started obsessing over a red Chanel vinyl beach tote that was so huge, humongous, and yeah, like, what was I thinking? I pretty much listed it out in that video, but I just do think it needs to be made mention that 2022 was the year that I bought $900 plastic beach tote for no reason. Luckily, I was able to return it. Again, I'm gonna say this again. I think that like last year I was trying to make Chanel happen for myself, and I'm just realizing that it's not something that I need as a part of my like luxury diet. I think that it isn't my jam and isn't my vibe. Like, I have a couple of Chanel items and I think that's where it stops. So I guess one of my luxury resolutions for 2022 is to like not buy or lust after anything else from Chanel. It has a couple of elements that just don't fit for me, and I think if you were to take the woven chain away from Chanel, then it would completely not be me. Like, gotten so much into Hermes because the aesthetic doesn't fit me, and I think I have to make peace with that's probably likely the case as well for Chanel. I don't like tweed. I think I don't like Chanel. Is that I have to sit with that. This is the Balenciaga Neoclassic Clutch. Obviously Balenciaga has been in hot water for the past couple of months, so I'm not going to be talking about this one at length, only to say that, I got this prior to all of that, and it was a bag that was really successful for me. It was a nice bag, and I don't take it lightly that, like, it's not really one that I'm rotating in my wardrobe at the moment. So I'll have more thoughts on the controversy and all the issue that happened at the end of last year in a couple of videos from in the future. Breakout star of the year. Stella McCartney, Raffia. I'll have the name of the bag here on screen. I don't know, just randomly I'm scrolling through Nordstrom Rack and this popped up and I fell in love with it and purchased it almost on the spot. I love this. I think it's fabulous and it works really well because I live in Miami and can, you know, rock something so like tropical all the time. I will say, you guys know I love a big bag and this is not one. It looks like bigger than it is because it has this like beard or whatever, but like this is the bag. And yes, I do fight and struggle in it because I always carry a sunglass case and I've been wearing those big huge sunglasses all year. The case is the whole bag. But they do make this bag in some of the faux leather and I just think it's super cool, super unique. It's not one that you see around every day. I actually really like Stella McCartney's bags and if you can find them for an affordable price, definitely worth jumping on. As I mentioned, the year of Chanel. This is a vintage shopper tote. It's caviar. It's from the early 90s and it is a workhorse. I absolutely love it. So this was purchased from one of the Instagram sellers. I've been promising to do a video about shopping luxury through Instagram and I think I'm gonna film that after I finish this. But yeah, this bag is an absolute workhorse. I used it to travel when I went to Hawaii and it was absolutely perfect. What I like about it is that while it is clearly obviously a very big bag, it doesn't sit very high on the shoulder, so it's very comfortable to wear, especially if I'm like wearing like bulky sweaters or coats or anything like that. But it is narrow, so it has enough space to fit all of my things inside without just completely overwhelming me with its girth. Overall, I love these. There are some of them out there on the market. I will leave links and they're relatively on the affordable side for some reason. I guess it's because everyone else is off big bags. Me, never. Definitely one that came to me in 2022. It's going to be staying for a very, very long time. Another net neutral, to be very honest. This is the Givenchy Ombre Infinity bag, and while I love it, it's hard to wear. I know like looking at it on camera, it probably doesn't really look like so intricate and so different. I just find that for whatever reason, like it's hard. Like I had to go out of my way to find 3 outfits that work with this bag, like 3 normal everyday outfits that I actually do see myself wearing in my lifestyle. That was an effort. It's not going anywhere in my collection. I highly, highly recommend this bag, especially if you need especially if you need a smaller like evening going out bag, but you need it to actually be able to fit stuff inside. This one is great. I love it. I love staring at it, but it's hard to wear. Unexpected favorite. This is the Louis Vuitton Pallas BB. There are a lot of these out there on the market. However, what I have is a very rare color. This is the beige pebbled leather. Usually the lighter colors of this bag you'll see is like the rose ballerine, and rose ballerine, let's just say, not my color. Like, I have mixed feelings about this bag, but I do find it wildly practical. Whenever it's not a work day and I need to carry like a couple of things to like run out of the door, this is perfect. I love the organization, the construction, but I do have to say that lately I am not loving monogram Louis Vuitton. I don't know, something about it like isn't giving me the same feeling like inside and the same vibe that it used to. But this bag has been like so useful and practical in my life that it's been something I've been willing to overlook. I don't know that this bag is going to be forever for me, but I got it at a really good price and I use it all the time. I'm gonna call it a good purchase because I use it a lot, but I think I'm kind of done with LV monogram for the moment. I feel like we've outgrown each other. Last purchase of the year. This is my first Goyard bag. This one is called the Isabella. My next video will be a review on this bag because I think that it's super cool. But yeah, this is my very first Goyard. I got it on my birthday, which is in the end of December. So it is very, very new to the collection. I love it. I just traveled with it to go see my family for the holidays, and it makes for a great, great travel bag. It is a bit smaller, I feel like, than the classic St. Louis tote. It's one people definitely don't have, definitely haven't seen, and that's definitely my, and and that's for sure my jam when it comes to designer stuff. You know, I like things to be like noticeable but like a little bit off kilter. So this fits the bill perfectly. It's really lightweight, and I find that it has a little bit more structure than the classic St. Louis, because I've seen the St. Louis at all stages of wear, and it's not for me. Yeah, now a couple of my rules for 2023. I really want to say, like, no more buying stuff just to buy it. I think I did a really, really bad job of that last year. We talked about, I definitely want to accept that, like, maybe certain holy grail brands are just not going to be for me, and that's okay. I know I said the shelf was full last year, but the shelf back here is definitely full now. Again, I want to say that I'm going to slow it down, although I do have to say that, like, I just feel like an urge to like want something, and I just don't know what it is, and that's something that I have to work on. So do you have any luxury related resolutions? Do you have anything that you are working on for 2023, or anything that you actually do want to add to your collection? I'm really glad to be back filming, and I really appreciate all of your patience. I don't know if any of you noticed, but I hadn't uploaded in a couple of months. You know, here at Kwshops, like, periodically I will take breaks. One of the things that I'm trying to prioritize in this year is that I want to take breaks when my body or my mind feels like I need a break. So that means that you may not hear from me every single week, and I know that is like antithetical to like YouTube law, but you have to do what you have to do for your own sanity and health, and if that's what it is, that's what it is, right? So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. If you have any suggestions of stuff that you'd like to see regarding resale or anything like that, please shoot me a message or leave it here in the comments below. Overall, Happy New Year's. This is the first time I'm seeing you all year, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!